In 2014, I moved to England from Canada to gain work travel experience and also to find myself. I ended up living in Essex with 3 other roommates. They were all women, all a bit older than I was. I was 24 at the time. Megan was 31, Sherry was 34, and Cassie was 38. Megan was from New York City, Sherry from New Jersey, and Casey from Poland. All 4 of us shared this 3-story flat. The back, our home, was the living room and kitchen. The back wall was complete glass that looked out into the garden. The garden was completely fenced in. The house had an interesting dynamic, to say the least. Tons of stories from that time in my life. I adored all my roommates except for Sherry. After living with Sherry for 7 months, I was over her antics. One day I came home from work, I locked the door, make myself something to eat, and go up to bed. I brought some work home with me. So I am in my nightie with all these papers around me and my headphones on jamming out. I had headphones on because Sherry was out to dinner with work friends. That meant booze. And then soon after that, a tantrum was surely to come. Yikes. I just didn't want to have to listen to her crazy scream crying. Damn, girl, you should not drink if you react like this. I'm working away, completely focused, until I feel something. I look up to see a man standing over me. I don't register it right away and passively say Sherry's room is on the 2nd floor and continue to work. Sherry regularly brought strange men home. Listen, this should be a rule with your future roommates. Do not bring strangers in because I live too here, bitch. Like, he doesn't leave. Again, Sherry's room is downstairs, you. He then interrupts. I'm not here for Sherry. Bitch, the fuck? A cold chill iced my veins. My flight of fright kicked in just then. I started serving the situation. I look him up and down. He has a bottle of Prosecco in one hand and a knife in the other. He's about 5'10", wild, muddy brown hair and black eyes. He has a light blue polo shirt and one side of his collar is popped up and a distinct Manchester accent. Once I focused in, I realized his eyes were black because his pupils were completely dilated. Shit, I was in trouble. I needed an escape plan. Unfortunately, this man was standing in between me and my bedroom door. I needed to go to get downstairs, but I needed for him to think it was his idea. I decided to play along. Whew, girl, you were very calm. Just then he uses his knife to pop the cork. Prosecco starting flowing onto my carpet. I said, "Oh no, let's clean that up. I prefer to drink it out of a proper flute anyways." He nodded, replying, "Yeah, you're a proper classy bird. Let's go." I try to act as natural as possible. I try not to show that I'm shaking all over and try to gain control over my breathing. We take the long journey down to the main floor of my flat, all three floors. He has the back of my nightie bunched up in one hand, and I could feel the point of the knife grazing my back with his other. I was trying to playfully speak with him as we walked down the stairs. I couldn't tell you what I was saying. I was mostly rambling. I couldn't hear anything over my heart beating in my ears. We get to the bottom of the stairs, and there is a halfway to my left that leads to the front door. On my right, which is much closer to us, is the kitchen and living room. We make our way into the kitchen. I point to the cabinets that had the wine glasses. He said he knew where they were. He definitely was here before. He said he knew where they were and started towards them. I now had the kitchen table in between us. It was time to run. I burst into a sprint down the hallway towards the door. My hands fumble over the locks, shaking and sweating. I swing open the door and see two men walking across the street. They must have been walking home from the train. There was a big train station in front of our home. That's cool. I call out for them help, and suddenly I am flung onto the ground. Little pebbles piercing my skin sent sharp pains where they jabbed. Oh my god. The intruder pushed me out of the way to run and escape. One of the men chased after the intruder while the other said for me to go inside while they surveyed my home and called the police. Oh my god. I love this kind of people. I fucking love them. Like they immediately knew what is happening. I lock the doors and I call the police. While I'm on the phone with the dispatch, I manically run around the house to double check all the windows and doors. Suddenly, I hear a loud bang on my door. I inform the dispatch of the banging, and she informs me the police weren't there yet. I thought it might be one of the gentlemen who helped me. I go to look out the eye hole and it's him. Oh my god, how stupid can you be to go back? Like, why? The intruder, he came back. He's banging on my door, screaming that I had his glasses and that he was not done with me. What the fuck? He's a fucking psycho. I absolutely freak out. The dispatcher attempts to calm me down, but I'm losing my ever-loving mind. She then said, "They are pulling onto your street now. You should hear their sirens." I did, thank God. The intruder then blasts off. One officer jumps out of the passenger side while the car is still moving. Girl, this is such a movie. And chases after him. The second officer comes into my home, interviewing me and the two gentlemen, collects evidence, takes photos. After some time of him being there, Sherry comes home and freaks out. Once the situation was explained to her, she said, "Oh my god, that could have been me, bitch." Yeah, thanks, Sherry. It's all about you. The next morning, I'm called in to identify a man they had in custody. I pointed him out. I got into a little room and the officer pulls up an evidence bag. He asked me if the items were mine. They were. There were my underwear and photos taken from my home. God damn. The officer informed me that the intruder had been stalking me for some time now. Bro, he had a knife. He had a plan. Like, oh my god. He estimated 3 months. Goddamn. A completely stranger. Like, goddamn. He had made a nest outside our home on top of the hill that overlooked into our living room and kitchen. He is known as a sex offender and drug dealer. He then told me how lucky I was to get out practically unharmed. Yeah, just mentally harmed. Like, others weren't so lucky. What the fuck? He had victims. Like, yeah, he was a sex offender. Like, the fuck. To the man who stalked me and broke into my home, let's not meet again. However, I would love to run into those gentlemen again every day. I'm thankful for them. I am too, girl. I am so happy for you, and so happy that everything went well. And god damn, that must have been hard for you. Damn. Well, you reacted very well and you played along and you were very, very strong. And not many will have this power and this idea, like I will not. And thank God all worked in your favor and you did this, you saved yourself. And that man, for 3 months, like, that's why he was so persistent. Like, he really wanted to harm you, girl, like, with no reason. Like, that's crazy. Even with a reason, it's crazy. But with a reason, like, there is no reason you should hurt someone like this. But goddamn, some people are wackadoo. Like, God. Oh, I'm curious. What would you do if you woke up with a stranger in your room like this? What would you do? Tell me in the comments down below. This story was chilling, and thank you so much for staying with me and watching this story. I hope you like the way I narrated it. And yeah, OP, I'm thankful you are good, you are okay, you are. Now I'm rambling. Okay. Damn, I need time. I need time to think about all this because this is like a movie script. See you next time, creepers. Bye.